Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here with day number 9 of Junk Journal July, hosted by Meg Journals and Get Messy Art. And our prompt today is balance. So I have an idea for this that I just kind of came up with, I think. So when I think about balance, I think about the different ways that we achieve balance with symmetry, asymmetry, and in art, just kind of in a lot of ways for me it's about like creating something that is either just that you eyeball, that you part of your signature is how you balance things artistically. So when you're laying out a page or you're laying out a book cover or something, I often do sort of these sort of free-form covers where, if this is my book cover, I may be looking to kind of, create something that has lots of different elements to it as so. And, part of my signature is being able to understand how balance needs to work, right? So it's like you're creating like a flat lay perhaps, or something of that nature, but you need to create something pleasing to your eye. So what I was thinking about today is symmetry, which I'm not really very attracted to artistically. I find it I often find like exact symmetry slightly unsettling. It's weird, but I was thinking about how you can achieve pleasing symmetry, and I was thinking about the Rorschach relief, the ink blots, and I've done a video in the past on how to make those with like paints and alcohol inks. So what I'd like to do today is make 3 tags, and what I'm going to do is, this is just a piece of coffee dyed copy paper, nothing fancy, and I've torn it in half, or 3, without measuring. Now I'm just going to fold these all in 2, and what I want to do is create sort of a center line that is going to be my place where I begin to put down some paint for all 3 of these. So I'm just going to get a piece of brown paper here to put these on to sort of control the mess, but no promises made. So another thing that you could practice symmetry is like mandalas. People really enjoy making mandalas, I think. I just have a series of different acrylic paints that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to start with just a little dollop. I mean, it's kind of a bigger dollop, in all fairness. I'll do a little bit of pink on all of them in varying amounts. And then another, maybe a little smaller. This one, I'll put some green. Maybe this one also. Blue. But I'm kind of keeping these little bits of paint kind of close to the center. This one is almost gone, I think. See if we can get something out of this bottle, even if it's a splatter, that's fine. That one we need to probably retire. Okay, and a little of this purple on here, maybe, and maybe on this one too, but a little smaller. Or not. It's okay. And then some red on this one. Maybe here. Oops. And the funny thing is even in this color selection, your eyeball and your preference, you know, is creating for you an automatic balance, because as I'm looking at these colors, they feel right to me. It feels like they're going to work together, except this one that needs to be shaken a little. So yeah, it's feeling right to me already. So now I've just got these 3 pages, and so what you'll notice too is that, you know, in some ways this is kind of balanced. This one, it's sort of, you know, it's making almost a rectangle going like this. This one is kind of equidistant, and, you know, it's got this little swirl to it. These are unintentional things that have happened just because of how my brain's working. This one is creating almost a triangle, but I did use one plan theory, and that was staying toward this center line, okay? So now what I'm going to do is, with all 3 of these, I'm going to I'm going to fold, and I'm going to smoosh. And we're going to create ink blots and probably some paint splatter. So just squish this down, and you can rub it if you want. We'll do them 3 different ways. So the first one I smucked. This one I will give a nice massage, and this one I'll simply fold. Just a fold. That's all we've done. Okay, so now I'm going to swap papers here, because I don't want any of the extra paint that's on here anymore. I just want my 3 squares. Okay. So now we can open them up. See what I mean? If you've ever seen, you know, Rorschach tests, that weird psychology kind of thing, or psychiatry thing, which is totally debunked, by the way. But this is kind of like what you're looking at. So if you're having a psychological moment and you're seeing something that's, you know, elusive to you, awesome. I'm seeing really fun paint. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'll come back and show you how we can make this a really interesting and fun kind of piece of work. These are all nice and dry now, so what I'd like to do, I think, is just refold them again. And I just want to trim a little bit off the bottom here. They're a little too tall. I can use the same fold I had. There we go. So I'll open these up. And then what I'd like to do is go ahead and back them onto some file folder to just give them like a nice firm backing. So I'll do that and come back. Now that these are backed, what I'd like to do is cut them into tags. So we'll just clip the corners here. And then I think I will also go around them with a bit of black soot ink, just to give a nice outline, because like they do have some nice bright colors going on. But I do want to get them into their tag shape, because there's something else that I want to add here, and I don't want to do that until after I've got what I'm going to cut off. So thinking a little about balance, and you know what that means in our life, and balance is something that for me is sometimes really hard to achieve, and also something I think about almost constantly in my life. Like balancing my time between everything I do is like kind of a never-ending topic in my mind, and I'm always trying to like do that better. I don't know if that's true for all artists, but you know, especially people who multitask with a lot of things in life like I do and have busy families, etc. It looks like I kind of smooshed that one. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so I now want to add on the topic of like life and things and whatnot. So one of my favorite modern Canadian poets is Rupi Kaur. She is from Brampton, Ontario, very close to where I am, and she wrote this book, The Sun and Her Flowers, I think as like kind of her breakout poetry book, and it was a huge success, and she is amazing, and she writes a lot of very real work. She's someone who I really like, and so I thought I would take the opportunity to use 3 of the poems from her book, and just put them on here and make these tags have some kind of a meaning about life and balance and all those things. So the first one is about community. When the world comes crashing at your feet, it's okay to let others help pick up the pieces. If we're present to take part in your happiness when your circumstances are great, we are more than capable of sharing your pain. And I think that is very true and a really good reminder to everyone, you know, that you're not alone, and that a lot of people in the world are very interested in taking care of you and helping to build you back up again when things get tough. So the way that I like to add this kind of poetry here is I'm going to break it into, I think, probably 2 chunks. One here and one here. That's what's logical to me for this one. And you can do this any old way you like. You don't have to follow my rules. And I'm going to ink the edge of this. It just gives a nice kind of border that makes the whole thing feel more intentional and artsy and good. Just going to glue stick these on. There we go. Set that one aside for now. And then this next one is just a little poem, and it just says, "The day you have everything, I hope you remember when you had nothing." And how's that for a statement about balance emotionally? Oops, I got that a little crooked. Let's fix that. It's better. I'm going to stick that one right in the middle of the paint. Okay. And this one is a longer poem, so I'll think about how I want to break it up. I am of the earth, and to the earth I shall return once more. Life and death are old friends, and I am the conversation between them. I am their late-night chatter, their laughter and tears. What is there to be afraid of? If I am the gift they give to each other, this place never belonged to me anyway. I have always been theirs. Kind of another, verse about the balance of life and death and our time here, right? Okay, so think I will clip that there. Okay. So I think I will cut this one. I just need to trim this one a little bit more. I kind of my house is so quiet tonight as I'm filming this that all I hear is my husband puttering back and forth, and every now and then our dog is whining because he is in his crate for a little while because the kids are having popcorn, and for whatever reason, I guess because they're not eating at the table, they're sitting in the living room. Our beagle is an opportunist, and then it becomes this whole calamity of little kids and popcorn and dog, and he's a big beagle, so it's my 3-year-old and him don't mix when there's snacks involved, because they're all learning balance, maybe. Life coming back to me here, but yeah, no, they're all kind of still learning about the boundaries of being a puppy and a toddler, and how to manage food and be around each other peacefully. So sometimes we just decide that we are too tired to keep policing it. The dog can go in his crate while everyone has popcorn, and then he can come back out and cuddle for the movie night. I think I'm gonna put this one up high, but then I want to move this one. I put it too low. That's okay. I got that glue in time. These are very sticky glue sticks, so usually, like, once they're down, but I got it. There we go. Okay, so I might just do a bit of, I'm thinking I want to do some, like, maybe black stitching around the edges of these. I'll be right back. So these are all stitched around now, and I really like how they turned out. I think they're a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my little prompt for balance. I hope you'll try playing with the concept of like Rorschach, like or ink blot, where you put two things together and pull them apart with paint. And I really like how the paint kind of spreads that way. It's really interesting. It's also very nice to do on a whole folded page. So give it a try, and until next time, I will talk to you when we are back tomorrow, I guess. So bye for now.